Hello and welcome to Red Arrows Racing League. I'm your host and commentator. My name is James. Let me just check and make sure this is all working before we move any further. Yep, all sounds good. So let's have a look at what's going on with this race. We apologise for the lack of turnout here. As you can see, this is partially due to a game update today, which has made the servers a bit of a nightmare. We've had an issue getting people invites into the session, so we're late starting as well. We're about half an hour late starting because of this, so yeah, apologies. By the looks of it, Bish isn't going to be able to make it tonight as well, which means that will make Super Striker our champion almost by default at this stage, but it's not the way he would have wanted to win the title, but it's an unfortunate thing, but it's the way it is. I mean, had Bish not been able to make one of the previous races, it would have sealed it earlier anyway, so he wouldn't have wanted to win it like this away from the circuit, but it's all the same. It would have been a huge task for Bish to win this, even with, because I think I've got my notes here, so the gap in the championship was 72 points, and there's a max of 94 available, so it would have been a Herculean task anyway. There are still some action points in the field. I'm going to struggle a bit tonight as well, because apparently there's an issue since the update with the Eagle car performance, so we're using real world cars here, so I might struggle to identify some people based on their liveries. Coming into tonight, the constructors was Aston Martin on 227, Red Bull on 162, and Williams and Alfa were tied on 88. It was a very interesting fight in the middle of the field for the constructors. I think it was something like 4 or 5 teams were separated by 8 points in the middle of the pack, so that might be our interesting point to go to. Let me have a look, see if I can find that. If I go to our standings, so yeah, it was Williams on 88, Alfa Romeo on 88, Haas on 80, and Mercedes Haas on 84, sorry, and Mercedes on 80. So 88, 88, 84, and 80. Williams, Alfa Romeo, Haas, Mercedes in that order. It's 8 points separate P3 from P6. Always Grinding is in the chat, so that might make things a bit better for us. Might be able to get one more in. Let's see if we got that then. So he says he's added us as an EA. I've not got it. Pinto Mark got him in. Let's have a look. Make sure that's come through. That will at least be one more in. Hopefully we can get into the session. Just see if we can get the invite and hopefully we can get one more player in. We are struggling a bit here, unfortunately. We might have to go in the current settings. It is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So while we're waiting for people to make decisions here, we'll just go over the track a bit more. So, as we're not spoken about that, so it's the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. There's 14 corners, 8 to the right and 6 to the left. There's 3 DRS zones but only 2 detections. So you got DRS before the detection zone before the hairpin gives you the DRS on the exit of the hairpin, and then on the main straight, on the start finish straight, I should say, on your way to turn 1. It should be a 12 lap sprint race and a 35 lap feature. We've been to Canada 3 different times. I've got always gone in here, that's good. I had 3 previous visits to Canada, as I was then saying. So season 1, it was a sprint was won by Gat, the feature race was won by myself. Season 2 we didn't do a sprint, but the feature race was won by me, with Super Striker and Super Calgon, who are in the session tonight in P2 and 3. Season 5, so just last season, it was won by Anne, Super Calgon in P2 and Liam in P3. So 3 previous visits to Canada. Super Calgon on the podium twice of those 3, so possibly a good race for him. It might not affect the people in this race, but across both divisions there are 6 wildcards in play tonight, so a multitude of wildcards active. It might be a good place to play it for strategy, because with so little in the attendance, as long as you finish, you're guaranteed points, so double them up. I do apologise in advance because I'm going to struggle to identify people with their livery because we're not using real F1 liveries, so apologies for that in advance. So the big fight to watch in terms of the constructors is the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. So the Williams would be Brewdog and Ant, and the Alfa is only EP tonight. It would be EP and the Boss, but the Boss was late checkout, unfortunately. We will now go into our 1 lap quali because of the sprint race. It's a 12 lap sprint, and according to my notes, the soft tyres will go 17 laps, the mediums 23. So you'll comfortably get a set of mediums around it. You might even dare to go for the softs. They might drop off the cliff at the end, but they, in theory, should last. So we'll go on board with our champion, Super Striker. Season 6 Red Arrows Racing League champion. Can you now make this around here in a pole position lap, maybe mark this in style? Doesn't even actually need any points anymore because without Bish here, he's got enough points so if it goes for an extra round, this championship, he's got his invalidated lap that will come off him. We'll have a look at the current fastest lap, which is Butler. So Butler now into the DRS zone, coming up towards the Wall of Champions. Stay right for the shortest route to the line, which he does do. You normally go left to start another lap, but stay right for the shortest route to the line in quali. So it's Butler from Alex Noble, from WBA, from Pinto, from Always Grinding, from Steely. On board with Alex Noble here, he finished second there. So again, it was Butler, Alex Noble, Brewdog, EP, Always Grinding, Steely, Super Calgon, and then Casper and P8 with Super Striker being the one and only disqualification there for track limits. I'm surprised at that, to be honest, because this is the sort of circuit where track limits are going to, I think, play a big part in this. It's really quite difficult to go a full or even a sprint race distance without any penalties. Track limits are really quite tricky on this circuit. There's chicanes you want to try and carry a lot of speed through, and it's hard to maximise the chicane and stay within the limits. If you try too hard to stay in the limits, you might leave too much time on the table. If you go for it too much and you're that little bit over, track limits comes into play. So there may be a little bit of self-preservation in some of the driving here, because if you can go without a penalty, that might be a big difference coming into the race, especially if people are racking up 9, 12, 15 seconds worth of penalty. If you can stay within yourself and just drive a penalty-free race, that might end up meaning a lot. And if you sacrifice the odd tenth or two here and there, and if you sacrifice a tenth a lap for the entire race, if someone's picking up penalties left, right and centre, you finish ahead of them. So I'm just waiting for everyone to ready up. Here we go, then let's see what we've got. No information on Axel issues that before, so we're going to go straight in. We'll have a look at Alex Noble here. We are going the sprint in Canada, and we'll have a look at the tyre details as well when we can. So everyone gone for medium tyre. Alex Noble up the inside there, but he might have had a bit of an issue. We've got a safety car deployed there. That possibly an issue with the game. I'm not sure what's going on. Or is that just on my screen? Or is it even a safety car? It might be a car in the pit. It's Super Calgon disqualified from the session. It wasn't a safety car, sorry, it's the colour of his car that made me think that. It's Super Calgon disqualified from the session. I'm not quite sure why that is. But it's Butler leading from Alex Noble, from Brewdog, Pinto and P4. We'll see where we can pick out the battle. Super Striker at the back, not where he wanted to be. Big bit of smoke there. Striker after invalidating the lap. Now at the back, we've got Brewdog here in P3 chasing down Alex Noble. But it looks like it's got off to a pretty good start here. He's almost broken the DRS of Alex Noble. Brewdog in the Special Williams 800 Grand Prix livery. EP here and P4 being followed by Always Grinding. We'll go back to Super Striker at the back because he is closing in on Casper. Casper and Steely both rocking the Triple Crown livery from McLaren. DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap, but they won't get it on the start finish straight. I have to wait to the middle of the lap. The DRS zone there is on the exit of turn 7. We'll go back onto Brewdog for a second because he's still teetering on being in DRS of Alex Noble. I think he's just lost out, so we'll go to Pinto. Alex Noble there with a time penalty. I'm expecting many of those today. It's so easily done on this circuit. I'm sure he won't be the last. So DRS will be active here on the exit of turn 7. EP has that available to him in pursuit of Brewdog. Into the hairpin now. He'll get another fresh hit of DRS on the exit here. The double activation point is what it's been through, so we have DRS here and he'll have it on the start finish straight also. Can he get close enough here? Do you fancy a move into this chicane or do you leave it? If it were me, I'd say turn 1 is a better opportunity, but he's gone for it. He's gone for the move. He's got it done. EP into P3. Can WBA stay in contention here? Will they have another go at him and potentially get that place back? We've now got a bit of a queue forming here. Positions 4, 5 and 6 close, and there's a penalty there for Always Grinding and some yellow flags I saw there. Not quite sure what happened. We're looking at Steely. He's having a go at Always Grinding. Always Grinding turn, having a look at WBA. It looks like WBA is run himself out of battery, almost. Always Grinding taking a slightly different line to Brewdog there. I think it's possibly trying to maximise his exit to have a go in the straight. He's up the inside. He's got the job done before the corner. And he's comfortably through. He's going to get DRS on the exit as well because it's a double hit. So here we go then. Into turn 1. Can he catch Pinto? Steely's got Brewdog as well. Or does he? Brewdog's going to fight it all the way, but has to yield. Meanwhile, Alex Noble's got back in DRS range of Butler, or at least just for the time being, because he's now back with it, without it. He had a brief moment of hope there with it, but Butler managed to straighten that back out. Super Striker now into P7. He's now chasing Brewdog down. He's going to have DRS here, but Brewdog's going to have it as well, so possibly a bit of a stalemate. Brewdog's having a look at Steely. Doesn't get him into the final chicane. Might be able to have a go into turn 1. Just too far back now. Got a Striker potentially going to have a look. Not quite close enough. Car on the inside there, Always Grinding's had a bit of a problem there. But being sensible and letting the field through instead of causing a massive accident. We prefer to see People showing that sort of courtesy. That's good of him. So it's Striker, currently P6, trying to attack Brewdog for P5. Trying to take this championship in style. So he's already been declared champion as of tonight. He's not close enough to make the move there. Will he have a go into turn one? It looks like he's going to. He is through. He's got the job done quite comfortably there. So Steely is next up if he can get him. 7/10 currently is the gap, so he is in range. DRS will be active for him. Some nice camera angles here as we watch this battle. It's a great helicopter shot. I assume it's a helicopter, could be a drone. No, it has to be a helicopter that quick, surely. Here we go, and so DRS open again. Striker having a look. Massive overspeed there and gets through. Up the inside. And Brewdog looking it through as well. Brewdog's got him. Steely's line compromised heavily. I'm not sure that's going to be one that needs to be looked at, but his line was heavily compromised there. I'm not sure if that was just getting your elbows out or whether that was anything more untoward. Didn't look like there's any contact anyway, so at least relatively clean. So we'll see where the battles are. Like Steely versus Brewdog is going to be the battle. So here we go. So Steely and Brewdog. Brewdog on the back of Striker there, so there's a bit of a stalemate between them two. Does Brewdog get a chance to look at Striker? It looks like a bit of a mistake there for Striker. Brewdog now, can he capitalise on it? He's not quite close enough to have a look, I don't think. If he can stay there, potentially next lap, or even in the middle of the lap, there might be a chance. Always going for a 3-second penalty there. I thought penalties would come into this. It's a really tricky lap to go penalty free. There's so many of those chicanes where you have to really be as close to the limit as you dare, but you go a little bit over and you'll get the punishment for it. Got a three-way fight here though. That's a big contact there. Stealing to the back of Brewdog, who in turn then hits Striker. It's a three-way fight over P4. It looks like no damage according to my screen, but we'll see how that plays out. Brewdog's got through. So Striker as it stands, P5. Takes a much tighter line to turn 2 that time. As you come around 6 and 7, DRS open for striker. Was closing in there, but that's not the sort of corner where you'd look at the overtake there. That chicane of 8 and 9 is more a case of trying to get you in play so you can have a go on the exit here for the other two DRS zones. It looks to me like Striker's had a lot more overspeed than some of the others, so maybe he's got a more aggressive setup in terms of straight lines. Just as we call it there, Striker picks up a 3-second penalty. That's how easy it is and how little you have to overstep the mark in order to pick up those track limits. It's so easily done around here. We'll have a look at Steely and see if he's able to now get at Striker. He will be ahead of him once the penalty is applied. As Casper picks up a penalty, that puts him on 6. So the lead two cars have a penalty. Pinto and P3 doesn't, but it's not going to be enough to get him the lead. He might be able to close in and get a position maybe, but not the lead at the moment. Super Striker thought about the move there, backs out, and that's Brewdog very wide. Is that going to give Striker a chance? We've got yellow flags out. That is Casper, but it looks like having problems. And Striker through before the corner, onto the brakes. He's going to get DRS here to get away. Very close to the World Champions there. But for now, Striker is P4. Can he keep it? He's going to have to get his toe down in order to get away, to maintain that place. We're on the final lap here, so odds are not in his favour. Butler is our current race leader. Butler, this will be, I believe, his first. That'll be his second sprint win. Sorry, he's won one before. I've got on my notes. Yet to win a feature race here, but this will be his second sprint win. As he comes to the line now. Butler is your sprint winner from Alex Noble in P2. Pinto, a good race from him there. He does manage to take the place from Alex Noble. Must have picked up penalty late on. So Pinto's P2, Alex Noble in P3, Steely ends up in P4, Brewdog in P5, Super Striker P6 there. You've got always Grindin and Casper. There with Calgon on P9. I've only just realised I've not started this in a pie chat, so I'm in in-game chat, I think. I believe I am. It's my mistake if I am. Apologies. So other drivers might be able to hear me. So have a look at the race director here, just in case anyone wants the incidents reviewed later on. No idea what happened down the start to where Calgon got disqualified. I'm going to need everyone to retire from this one because I need to do the grid. We do our reverse grid on the sprints, so I will just need to do that. Let's see if we can find where that previous sprint win was. We want to retire from this one, so this one's not going to matter as much. Oh, there it was. So Butler's previous sprint victory was in the final round of season 3 in Brazil. Don't worry about this. This is planned. This is just everyone retiring from this session so that we can do the reverse grid feature race. So just bear with us as I do the grid for the next bit. And the others move on for me, so I haven't got that button available for me. Right, so that is going to be our feature race mode. Let's make sure everything's all set. Put formation lab off. That should all be alright as far as I'm aware. Yep, just need to do the grid. So the grid should be supercar at the back for the DNF. Apologies if you hear any other audio. In fact, I'll sort out going to see what we're going to apply for this. So let's have a go at Okay, it's not going to do that. Apologies for that. So apologies for the background audio there. So we've got should be Butler, then EP, then Alex Noble, and Steely. WBA comes in next. Then Striker, always grind and Casper like that. That should be the grid all set. That should be everything we need. Press that to mute so it doesn't come up on the stream. There we go, that's good. It's my fault for being in game chat, so apologies for that. Oh, sorry, yeah, Wildcast. Going to wildcard and make sure that this is set correctly. I believe simulation settings are meant to be. Make sure your performance is on. Yep, good. The weather is all dry apparently, so let's go and confirm that. Then let's go and put that into the weather. It was all clear dry, so let's change to that. I'm reliably informed everything was all clear dry, so that should all be done now and should be ready to go. Okay, so let's let everyone get ready. Session should be starting now. So we'll be straight in because we've got no formation lap. We've got a reverse grid here, which puts Casper on pole. So we now get ready to go racing. Much wait on people to apply setups and everything. So just bear with us for a moment. I hope it's not too long. And they'll be ready to get underway. Here we go, everyone ready? So we'll look. Actually, the grid's gone completely. He's messed the grid up. I'm not sure what's happened there. That's not me. That's not the grid I set. I don't know why it's gone the way it has. I don't know what's happened there. Let me just have a look, see if I can get some of my screens set. So let's uncover this. That is really weird. I don't know what's happened there. I'll look at the tyre choice as well as mix of tyres. Steely's gone for the softs. I've got a VSC already as well. I don't know what has gone on. That's Casper by the looks of it. He's had a problem. He's lost the front wing. He should have been on pole. I don't know why that suddenly changed. So it's showing us Steely in P1, Butler in P2, Super Striker P3, Always Grind in P4, Brewdog P5, EP P6, Alex Noble in 7th, Calgon in 8th, and then Casper in P9. I honestly don't know what happened with the grid there. That's nothing even close to the grid I set, so that's... yeah, I'm not sure what happened. But we'll plough anyway, we're under a virtual safety car. For the incident there with the loss of front wing. Casper in the pit lane to change that. So just waiting to get under proper racing conditions again. I'm looking at Leah's heads, why it looks a bit funny on my screen. So let's get that sorted out. As Casper now comes out of the pit, we're back on the racing conditions. So Butler just at DRS range. DRS enabled at the end of this lap, so the first hit will be in the middle of next lap. Butler now is in range here, so maybe next lap he can have a go. He should have been starting from the back. I'm not sure where he started in the end. I can find out. He's up 2 places, so he's starting P4 when he should have been P8. There's Striker in P3. Always Grind in P4. Will we see a repeat of the previous race in terms of that battle for positions 4, 5 and 6? Casper goes fast lap down, fresh hards. I see the tyre data again, so it's only 2 people have gone for medium tyre, that being Brewdog and Butler. Steely's the only man to go on soft, and the rest of the field have gone for hard tyres to start this race. The hard tyres, according to my notes, will go 26 laps of this 35 lap race. Butler getting close to challenging to the lead. He sets a new fastest lap there. This will be Butler's first feature race win in the league if he can get it. Steely's very new here, so this will be his first, I think his first podium finish as well as his first victory if he can hang on. It's very early days in this race though. Sorry, Always Grinding, who's in the mix at the moment on the hard tyre. Maybe the race will come to him, being the front of the hard tyre runners. Maybe it's a waiting game that he can capitalise on with the mix of strategy in the feature race. Butler here has DRS to Steely, so we'll have a look and see how he gets on. He's got a lot more battery as well. Just through goes Butler. Made that one look pretty easy. Got the job done before the corner. Can Steely hold on and have a go in the middle of this lap, and then again towards the end? Always grinding at the moment, just a bit too far back to get DRS, so we will be under threat from Super Striker. Super Striker, if he can get the podium tonight, he will take his 21st podium in Red Arrows, and will put him second place in the all-time list. He'll take my spot to go second place on the all-time list. He's currently tied with me on 20. He's now half a second down, Always Grinding. Always Grinding won't have DRS himself here, so he's going to be under threat. You can see Steely there has the DRS to Butler. Striker is through, and Brewdog now get onto the back. Always Grinding as well. Can he make a move? Not quite this time. So Striker through for now. If Always Grinding can hang on, he might be able to get him back. We'll see how that unfolds. So DRS open for Always Grinding. Always Grinding, a former two-time winner with 4 podiums to his name. So he's got some experience here in this league. Been racing with us for a while now. On the DRS, but not close enough. Can he make a move into turn 1? Not quite. In that precarious spot of not knowing whether to attack or defend. Is possibly under threat from behind, but he's challenging up front as well. Can be an awkward position to be in. There's DRS now in the middle of the lap. Opens that up, can he get close? 3 tenths now, 2 tenths. He might be able to challenge here. He has done a good job looking at his battery, but so has Striker, both from 70+%. As Butler's coasted away from Steely as he looks to claim his first feature race win. A long way to go though. Always Grinding passes Striker. It's Always Grinding, Striker and Brewdog all close. 4P3 here. So I've got yellow flags out. That's a McLaren, a Steely. Steely with a mistake there. So he finds it down in P7 now. Is that them tyres getting out the Ghost? They should go a little bit longer according to my intel. But my intel is based on to destruction rather than to when they fall off the cliff, so they might go off a bit earlier than what mine say. Up the inside there, into turns 8 and 9, that was bold, that's brave. Striker into P2. But did he get him there at the almost the wrong spot, because he might have got him there to win the battle momentarily, but he might have surrendered the DRS here and lost the war. He has given Always Grinding DRS here, so that then make him vulnerable in this section. Brewdog making a move. Brewdog go for both of them. Brewdog looks like he's got both of them. Picked them both off down the straight, but he might be in for some penalty troubles there. Super Striker gets back down the inside. Thinks better of it into turn one. All this has brought Alex Noble into the fight as well. We've now got a four-way fight over what is P2 due to Steele's issues. Steele into the pit and picks up a 5-second penalty for his troubles on his way in. Alex Noble there does pick up the penalty for the track limits. Like I said before, in the other race, it's so easy done. Is he going to go for the move into 8? He goes for it. I'm not sure if there's room for 2 on there. Managed to get through. Got through clean enough. And it's Striker versus Brewdog. Striker will have the DRS. How close can he get here? Does he have a go? Thinks a little bit better of it. Into turn one. It's a big mistake there. Mistake from Brewdog, lost the rear end. And that allows Striker through. Almost caught the back of him there as well. That was quite lucky to avoid that. That could have been a big mess. Brewdog there lost out to Alex Noble as well and possibly under threat from Always Grinding there. The back end just stepped out on him. And Alex Noble is not quite in DRS range of Striker. Brewdog though is in DRS range of Noble here, so he might be able to get back on him and try and recover that mistake. What's the battery situation like? There's a big puff of smoke there. Brewdog's slightly better on battery, but not by a great deal. And about 10% or so. Always Grinding the man that's got quite a lot, is 63% on his. So he might be able to play with the battery here and make an overtake or two. When does he decide to deploy it? Is the question. Looked like a little bit of a mistake through turn one there, but he's got away with it. As we're watching the fight between Alex Noble and Brewdog. This is over P4. P3, sorry. DRS for Brewdog. Not able to attack here, but possibly towards the closing stage of the lap he can get closer. We are on lap 11 of 35, so almost a third of the way in. Oh, the DRS here is again. How aggressive is he going to be? He's going to go for the move. Gets it done. He's going to have DRS in order to escape here. Goes to the inside to defend. Always Grinding's past Alex Noble. And almost at the inside of Brewdog there. Had to take an evasive manoeuvre. That was getting a bit tight there. What's just going on now? That camera does not help me out. It's 3 cars tremendously close here in the battle for P3. It looks like Alex Noble thought of a move there, but just thought better of it. Into DRS here and turns 8 and 9 approaching. Does he go for the inside? He definitely thought about it. He definitely thought about that one, but pulled out up to the hairpin now. We've gone through the DRS detection here, so if we can get him here, he takes a tighter line. Does that give Brewdog the better exit? He'll need it here in order to defend from the DRS. I think all of this is bringing Pinto into the fight. Always going into P3 for now. Alex Noble's got Brewdog as well. And EP, as you can see there in the background, he's in on this. And we've got some action in the pit lane there. That's Super Striker into the pit. And Brewdog. Striker and Brewdog both into the pit. Striker for a wing. We missed that one. Striker's got a wing change. So medium tyres for both Striker and Brewdog. So I think that would lead me to believe they're doing a two-stopper. And there's a car on the wall there. Is that always grinding? So it's Butler, Alex Noble, and EP as your top three. Always grinding P4 there, but I think he might have been involved in an incident right there in turns 3 and 4. So it's the back four, positions 6, 7, 8 and 9 who have boxed, and I believe they're going to stop again. So we'll see if anyone wants to try and brave the one stop, or whether the two stop is just the done thing. The front five yet to pit. Always Graham picks up a penalty there for his troubles. Let's have a look at the penalty situation there. So Alex Noble's on a 6, Always Grind's on a 6, Calgon's on a 3, and then Steely and Casa both picked up 5s in the pit lane. We have yellow flags out again. It's either Grinding or Calgon. I can't tell from here. My guess would be that it was Grinding because Calgon's now got awfully close to him. It is a guess though. The EP now within DRS range of Alex Noble. He's going to try and close in the Alfa Romeo, which would give the Alphas that advantage in the constructors fight over Williams, for now at least. Striker's got Brewdog here by the looks of it. Striker is through. DRS open, he's going to get it again in order to try and pull away. But with a commanding lead now. We'll go back to the fight between Alex Noble and EP. EP in range there, but doesn't have DRS at the moment, so he must have got a decent exit there to put him back in. He will have it now on the exit of the hairpin. Here we go, then ready to deploy it. The line is just there on your screen. 8/10 to the gap. Is closing, but not by enough to really make a go of it. It looks like Alex Noble got a much better exit there from the last chicane. Super Cal going to the pit and picks up a 5-second penalty for his troubles on his way in. So in on lap 15 for him. He's got 20 laps to do. My notes say the medium tyres will last that long, but it'll be tricky. So he might be on the two-stopper. We'll see how this all plays out for him. Trying to find a battle on the circuit. I haven't got one at the moment. Closest thing on the circuit at the moment is this here of 4, 5 and 6 between Always Grinding, Striker and Brewdog. Butler is into the pit, which gives Alex Nova the lead, at least for now. So Butler pitting for the hard tyre. Oh, those sugar tins, so maybe he is going for the one stopper. So it's the front two have yet to pit. Butler's in P3 has pitted. Always Grinding here in P5 hasn't. Striker in P4 has. As he passes there. Shows the size of Butler's lead there. The fact that he's managed to pit and come out in P3 is still fairly close to the pack. Super Striker in a fight, Always Grinding here, but Always Grinding not close enough to do much about it. It's going to be hunted down by Brewdog. Brewdog now into DRS range. Only Striker and Brewdog penalty free at this stage. I did say that could be key earlier. Such a hard circuit to go penalty free the entire race. Brewdog here with DRS. Where does he go for the move? Is it going to be here or is it going to be into turn 1? DRS active. Goes to the left. Alex Nova into the pit now and picks up a 5-second penalty on his way in as well. A lot of people struggling with the pit lane here. As Always Grinding's done as well. So Always Grinding, EP and Alex Nova all into the pit box. Gives Butler the lead back. Super Strikers in P2 and Brewdog in P3 as it stands. EP and Steely is the closest bit of on-track action, so we'll go to that. EP not quite in DRS range here. Not quite able to get him. Goes wide there at the hairpin. Maybe trying a little bit too hard. EP on the brand new soft tyres. There might be up to temperature. It might be that he's having problems with that. Steely on 10 lap old mediums. We expect he might have to come back in again. We'll see how this all plays out. Big mistake there from Steele on the exit. Is that going to give EP a chance? Lost the rear. I had a big wheel spin moment there. EP now into DRS range. On the attack now then, so as we approach the hairpin, can he get it right this time? I've got to look at the battery information there. The battery is very similar for the pair of them, so that's not going to be the deciding factor here. EP is deploying it. Is he going to go for the move up the inside before the chicane? Gets the move done before the corner. Can he make that one stick? So far so good. Gonna have the DRS here in order to get away. Behind us here we've got Super Cargo and Always Grinding having a go at each other. Always Grinding picks up the fast lap of the race. 1:12.4. Super Cargo there picks up a 3-second penalty there for time for the multi-track limits. So Striker's put up one as well there. So Brewdog is the only man without a penalty here. Always Grinding now. Is he going to make the move on Super Calgon? They touched there. They touched and Always Grinding's off. And Calgon, I think, had to go through the corner. They had to cut it there in order to keep that in the right direction. So Super Calgon now on 11 seconds of penalty. Always Grinding on 11. Alex Nova's on 11. Pinto on 8. Steely on 5. Casper on 5. Striker on 3. Butler on 5 as well. So Brewdog the only man without a penalty. Always Grinding picks up an extra penalty there. He's up to 14 now. So Brewdog might be the man to watch. Although we'll go to the battle. It's now Super Calgon and Steely. As Super Calgon there right on cue picks up a penalty of his own. So that now he needs to get past Steely and get a move on there in order to make that one work. He's got the DRS though. So we'll have to wait when the cars cross the line to see the true results. And look at how inch in the wall there on the exit of turn 9. Around the hairpin turn 10 there. Still just about in DRS range. Managed to deploy that. He's going to get another bite at here. I think it's going to be a little bit too far back. Nothing else that's that close on the circuit in terms of battles for position. Just outside DRS range now. We've got yellow flags out. That looks like Always Grinding's had a problem. He's in the wall there at turn 4. Calgon teetering on the edge of DRS range. I think he's just outside of it. That bridge there is the marker for the DRS detection zone, or thereabouts. So just outside, he's managed to sneak in now, but it's not. It's a little bit too little, too late to get it this time. You have to try and fight on and get it to the middle of the next lap. In half a second now, Always Grinding to the pit, so possibly some damage there from that tag with the wall, and he's out of the session. So Looks like a pit in retirement. So we've got Calgon now in DRS range of Steely. Can he get him? We've got Super Striker into the pit, so possibly the two-stop strategy now coming out. Has he got the move? He has got the move. But I believe that's steering to the pit, it is. So Striker onto the soft tyres. I imagine Steely's going to do the same. Striker just out in front of us there. So Calgon and Striker. You expect Striker to be able to pull away here on those soft tyres. But stranger things have happened. We'll see if he can make any progress through the field here. Just a few laps to go, about 10 laps left. We'll see if he's able to get ahead of everyone else. I'll have a look at the penalty situation in a second. Let's have a look, see what's going on in terms of that. That's going to be key. Brewdog's now into the pit as well. So Striker is only on a 3, so that might turn up into his favour. Steely managed to serve his 5-second penalty, so he's now penalty free. So it's Steely and Brewdog, the only penalty free drivers now. So it might play into their hands further into this race. They might be in position come the finish. So it's Striker, Brewdog and Steely on the soft tyres now. They've pitted for those. Butler with a commanding lead. He's had a great drive today. We'll be able to take... He's taking the sprint already. Can he take the feature as well? Just had a notice there saying that EP's left the session. Be possibly a connection issue. I know EF had problems today, so that'd be unfortunate if we've lost him for that. But not much we can do, unfortunately. But I hope he can get back in. I believe if it is the case, it'll be the AI's controlling his car, so the AI has boxed him. Yeah, unfortunate for him. If that's the case, Super Striker goes fastest lap. Let's try and get details on the people who have won both sprint and feature race. I want to say I think it's 5 people have done it. I think it is. Yeah, I think Ben was the first person to do it, followed by Anne. Then Bish has done it. Super Striker, Lewis, and Butler will become the 6th person in Red Arrow's history to take a sprint and feature if he can hang on to this. Brewdog now having a look at Calgon. Which way does he go? He goes to the left and through. I've got a VSC now according to my screen. I'm not sure quite what that is. I can't see an incident. I'll just have a scan through and see if I can pick up something. I can't see any obvious reason for why that would be. I'm sure we'll find out in a second. Oh, there we can see it. Alex Nova that front wing there. There is the reason. Anything there for Alex Nova by the looks of it. Disaster for him with just a few laps to go. Pinto there in the chat confirming he got kicked from the session there. I'm not sure why that is. I'll see if I can get you invited back in. Bear with me a second. Let me see if I can invite you back in. I've just tried to invite you back in, Pinto, so see if you can accept that. It's unfortunate. It's ruined your race, unfortunately, but yeah, game issue, not much we can do. As we're watching Brewdog and Calgon. Brewdog's got the better race at the moment. Steely's managed to pick out a penalty there, so Brewdog is the only penalty-free man. Alex Nova retired from session there. He is in the wall at turn 4 by the looks of it. Calgon picks up a penalty for his troubles. Butler in the pit. Race leader is in the box here. Is that because the race is comfortable and he's trying to go for a fast lap as well, or what? Is he just drove straight through that? Has he got to put the hard tires back on? Might be an original set of hard tires put back on there. I'm not sure what happened. But it's Butler now. Not quite as comfortable in the lead from Striker, who's on a relatively fresh set of softs here. This could be now game on. Striker closing in here. This could be snatching victory here from the jaws of defeat, or possibly the other way around if you're in Butler's persuasion. Because Striker looks like he's closing in here. There's 5 laps to go. Butler now putting out a bit more gap. Casper in the pit box after a long stint on those hard tyres. Not much on track action to speak of. We'll have a look at the penalty situation again because Brewdog could potentially be put into play here. And as a matter of fact, Butler here is on a 5-second penalty and Striker's on 3. So advantage Striker by 2 seconds and he's 2.8 behind. He's only got to get another 0.8 of a second here and he'll claim this race. Striker in with a chance here to not only claim this championship in style but claim his 8th race win of his Red Arrows career and knock me out of the P2 spot of the podium, so he'll take P2 himself here. At the moment we are tied P2. He'll go there on his own. 2.1 is the gap now. He's got within, just about got within 2 seconds here. Might have been a bit of a cut there. Yeah, he's now got within 2 seconds. So as it stands, Striker is now your de facto race leader. Was that a strategic error there from Butler? Or is the game messing about in some way there? I'm not quite sure what's happened. But Butler all of a sudden, from seemingly having this race in the bag, is now going to find that striker is your leader. Just a few laps to go. Harry in the chat there telling us that Div 2 has been a bit chaos. We'll catch up on that at the end. That striker here is on for what in the middle of this race looked like an unlikely win. Whatever happened there in that last stop for Butler has not paid off. And striker might even be able to get this on circuit at this rate. I'll keep our eyes on this because it's the closest bit of action on the circuit. Just 1.2 the gap now. He might get this done on the circuit, you know. .1 there, just outside the DRS range. We'll have a look at the battery situation now. Both on next to nothing. As we go into the penultimate lap now. Lap 34 of 35. Striker just needs to keep this facing the right direction and just not take any unnecessary risks here. No unnecessary penalties. If he just does track limits there, that might then give Butler what he needs to stay ahead. DRS now he's on the attack. He looks like he's dicing with death a bit there. Around some of these corners, he looks like he's really going to go for this overtake and try and get it done on the track. Into the hairpin we go. How good's the exit? 4/10 of the gap, we're right on board. Yellow flags are out at the hairpin. Not close enough to make the move. How's it looking into turn 1? DRS again wide open. Does he dart down the inside? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. I think it's for the best. Steely there picks up a further 3-second penalty. We'll have to hold a bit for the finish to see what's going on with the penalties, because it might change a lot of the positions around. As it stands, striker will take the victory. DRS open. He's going to go for it on the circuit here. And if you're Butler, how hard do you defend? He needs 2 seconds gap here to keep the position, so yeah, I'm not sure if you even bother trying to defend this too hard. Through goes striker to take your race win on the circuit, right at the death. Striker then picks up his 8th Red Arrows victory, his 21st podium, to put him second on the all-time list. So it's striker from Butler. Butler who picks up his 7th podium. Brewdog with his first podium. Gotta say, hats off there. A really good drive to be the only driver without a penalty there. So just going penalty free round here is a good drive. So I'm sure he'll take that. Very well done. EP in P4. Calgan in P5. Steele in P6. Casper rounds up the grid in P7. And then we lost Alex Noble and Always Grinding. So that is the championship wrapped up for Div 1. I've already asked for permission now that the championship is wrapped up in Div 1 to go and commentate on Div 2 for the last couple of races. I think their championship is still up for grabs. So if that's the case, I'll try and switch over to there. Let's try and give you more entertainment. I'd rather call on a live championship than one that's already been sorted. Regardless of which division it's going to be, it will be next week's race is in Imola. So we look forward to seeing you there. We'll just go through the race director just so we can get any incidents we need to be aware of in case any driver wants to appeal any of this. There is all that. So yeah, as mentioned, Imola next week. So we'll catch you next week for that. But until then, we'll say goodbye for now.